in Equestrian and Shooting Club, which is where we're bringing you this live coverage of this R9 mixed 50-metre rifle prone final. So some of the athletes just being introduced at the moment. I'll run over those for you in just a second and do sort of official introductions in terms of our coverage here on Facebook and YouTube. Wherever you are around the world joining us, and you're very welcome. Feel free to get involved, show your support for whoever you're looking out for in this final. Perhaps someone representing your own country, or perhaps somebody that you're just a fan of in the world of shooting sport. That's Philipp Bernard of Germany, the announcer who's been resplendent over the last 6 days, giving it his all. You can see his body language there. I believe his microphone must not be working, but it's okay for Philipp because he's loud enough to be heard anywhere across the world at the moment, really, with a booming voice like his. There's Ghislaine Bliez of France in the background. She's the technical director of this particular World Championships. Your position. And here's Christian Baillet of France, the Chief Range Officer once again for this final, with a packed house full of supporters. The French team have certainly brought their support along to this final. Let's have a look then at how they line up for the R9 50-metre rifle prone SH2 mixed final. So Dragan Ristic of Serbia with the world record that was set at the Paralympic Games last year. What an occasion that was. We had to wait for it, but eventually it did indeed come round. So that's how it finished in qualification. Dragan Ristic at the top, 629.0. And if you look down at 8th position, Vitaly Plakushi was only 6 points behind. Such a close qualification process today. So just in terms of quota places for this final, in terms of the Paralympic Games, we'll go over that in just a second. There is one Paralympic place available, quota place available for this final, and I'll explain why in just a second. So this is Vitaly Plakushi of Ukraine on firing point A. Took a gold medal at Hanover in 2019 in the R9, and also a silver at the World Championships in Sydney in this event. And more recently was 6th place in 2021 last year in Lima. Very, very experienced shooter with plenty of medals to mention. Firing point B, representing Germany. This is Tim Focken. Also goes by the name of Timmy. And he was 4th in the R9 mixed 50-metre rifle prone, this particular event. That was at the Sydney World Championships. And also he was 8th in the World Cup at Châteauroux in 2018. So he's used to finals, just needs to etch up a little bit to add more medals to his already impressive calibre. And Livia Cecca-Galina, who's already featured earlier this week in the final, so she's back for more, representing Italy. She's on firing point C. And moving down to firing point D, a regular in the finals, Tanguy de la Forêt of France. Took a silver medal at the mixed 50-metre prone in Changwon 2022. And also took a medal earlier on here this week. He was also 5th in the R9, this particular event at the Paralympic Games in Tokyo last year. Now moving down to firing point E, this is Dragan Ristic, the world record holder, a very, very impressive shooter. Not only is he the current Paralympic gold medalist, he's also the current world champion as well. So we're very blessed to have Dragan in this particular final representing Serbia. World record holder, Paralympic champion and the world champion, all 3 of those titles at once. And representing Thailand on firing point F, this is Anusan Chichanam of Thailand. Gold medalist is Châteauroux in the R9. as you're seeing on your screens right now, and 2 silver medals as well in the R9 category back in 2018. That was at the Jakarta at the Asian Games, and also here in Alain at a World Cup as well. Back again for another final on firing point G, representing Slovakia is František Tyršek, 6th in Munich earlier on this year in the R9, also 5th at Châteauroux in the R9. That's the other World Cup, and also the bronze medalist in the World Championship, but that was R4, that was the standing competition. And finally, on firing point H, representing the home nation of the United Arab Emirates, this is Saeed Al-Blouchi, gold medalist at Châteauroux earlier this year. That was in the R11. So Ian Harwood will be our jury member in charge of Great Britain. And here's the final lineup then. So this is how it starts. This R9 50-metre rifle prone will get going very, very shortly. So Ukraine on A, we've got Germany on B, Italy on C, France on firing point D, Serbia on firing point E, Thailand on firing point F, Slovakia on firing point G, Slovenia even on firing point G, and then UAE on firing point H. My name is Rory McAllister. I'll be your commentator for the rest of this final. So a couple of athletes in this final, no strangers to the podium. Certainly Dragan Ristic is one, Tunge de la Forêt representing France, and also František Tyršek of Slovenia. Certainly knows his way around the medals. Now quota places have already been awarded to Italy, France, Serbia and Thailand. Livia Cecca-Galina picked up her quota place in the R4. That was here in Alain. Likewise, Tunge de la Forêt for France in the R4 a few days ago. Dragan Ristic, meanwhile, picked up the quota place for Serbia. That was in the R5 event. That was back in Châteauroux earlier this year. And Anyusan Chichanam of Thailand also picked up a quota place for Thailand in the R9. That was in Châteauroux earlier this year. So there were 2 quota places available for this final. One was allocated for female, the other for gender free. So actually, as it turned out, because of the other countries and the way the qualification worked, it means that Zara Gulmanashteshti Pastaki of the Islamic Republic of Iran, who qualified in 16th place, actually picks up a quota for the Islamic Republic of Iran. So well done to Zara for doing so. It just shows you, even in qualification, just keep going, because you never know what's going to happen. So it means that 1 quota place will be available for this final, and that will go to either Ukraine, Germany, Slovenia or the United Arab Emirates. If you are joining us on YouTube or on Facebook, and thank you very much for joining in. Feel free to leave your comments in the comments section. Good morning to Addy. I say good morning because it's 6:30 in the morning in New York City. Funny, I'm sitting here with my NYC t-shirt on today, so how funny, Addy, that you join us from NYC this morning, and here I am with my NYC t-shirt on. So once the final gets going, we'll have 2 series of 5 shots, and then we'll move to single shots after that. Our first elimination will be after shot 12. Chief Range Officer's just called time, so we're almost set. The preparation and sighting time comes to an end. There's Tunge de la Forêt, already with a quota place in terms of his country, France. That was picked up in the R4 event earlier on this week here in Alain. But another very exciting final ahead, I think. Just looking at the lineup here with some of the athletes we've got in this final, it's going to be very, very exciting. So Christian Baillet of France, the Chief Range Officer, calls load. He'll call start in just a second. And only then can the athletes begin. 2.5 minutes added to the clock because this is a prone event. So you can see the athletes there with resting tables. And a prone event, you're just slightly more steady than you would be in kneeling, and certainly more so than standing. And therefore we expect some of the shots to be higher, such as Tierschek opening with a 10.6, De La Forêt with a 10.7, and Plakushi with a 10.4. Ristic, the world record holder, with a 10.6. Chaichanan of Thailand with a 10.4. Ablushi 10.2. Timmy Focken of Germany, some great shots. 10.7 now follows that up with a 10.8. Just 0.1 away from that 10.9. I think it's a question of time before we see our first 10.9 of this final. Saeed Abloushi of the home nation, the United Arab Emirates. Just in case we were unsure, his coach just stands in front of the camera with UAE emblazoned on the back of his shirt, just to make sure. De La Forêt with some brilliant shooting, another 10.7. A total so far of 52.9. That's a very impressive opening 5-shot series. Anything close to 53 or over 53 is kind of where you're aiming to be if you're to leave the competition after the first series of 5 shots. So there we have it.
Happy to have back your micro. The sound is bad, but we see great
Christian
results.
Bay, the chief range officer, has called
from 2 athletes
stop.
and the 52.4 from
and here's how it stands.
Plakushi,
So we've got 2 tied at the top then. So Vitaly Plakushi of Ukraine and also Tunde De La Forêt of France,
really
both tied on
great, so
52.9. A very impressive opening 5-shot series indeed. Some of the other differences there, 0.5, 0.6, another 0.5, and then some 0.1s towards the bottom. Dragan
for the next competition series,
Paralympic champion.
load.
We would expect more from him perhaps, and he's more than likely going to creep up the scoreboard, no doubt.
Start.
So the next 5-shot series now begins. This is František Tierschek, Slovenia, another left-hander in this final. De La Forêt of France, also a left-handed rifle shooter. So De La Forêt with again some very good grouping, a 10.8 from him. Ristic now trying to show a bit of class, a 10.7. De La Forêt still tied at the top, 105.9, him and Plakushi literally neck and neck in this final. As we complete the second series of 5 shots. So De La Forêt and Plakushi are tied at the top, 105.9. So that's how it stands. Those two athletes, they were tied after the first 5 shots, and they still are indeed. They've just notched up to 105.9 as we look. A 2.1 difference from Tyršek in 3rd place. Čeka Galina only just behind, 0.1, and Ablushi in there as well, a 0.1 gap of the difference. And Chichamnan of Thailand also only 0.4 behind, 0.3, and then nothing between Tim Fokken and Dragan Ristic, who both tied for 7th. So we now move to single shots. Very, very close final, this one, but sometimes you expect that from a prone final. Thanks to Matthias Hafner. I hope I've said your name right. We are with you, Slovenia, in our hearts. Nice to see your support. Indeed, yes. František Tyršek of Slovenia on firing point G. Very, very nice man. Plakushi with a 10.0. Fokken with a 10.4. Chichamnan with a 10.6.
Stop.
Čeka Galina 10.1. De La Foret with a 10.0. So that's going to change the top. Ristic with a 10.2. Tyršek with the highest score, 10.9. Maybe that's all to do with your message, Matjas. It just came at the right time. And Ablushi with a 10.6. So if you look across all the athletes, not one shot below 10.0. So this is shot 12. This will decide 12th place. At the moment, it's the current world record holder, Dragan Ristic, representing Serbia. He's also the Paralympic champion. He is the world champion and the world record holder, and he could be leaving this final in 8th. This is Syed Ablushi we're just looking at of the UAE, 10.4, decent shot from him. Ristic with a 10.8. It means it's all swapped around. It's been an incredibly close final, but leaving in 8th place, representing Germany on firing point B. Tim Fokken leaves this final on a total of 123.3. He finished 0.5 behind Chichamnan of Thailand. And there goes Tim, eyebrows raised. I think he's a bit just nipped in the last shot. Thank you very much to Amandeep Singh for your comments as well. More power to the Paralympics, indeed. I agree. So Tunge de la Foret of France then leads the way from Plakushi, a difference of 0.2 at the top between 1 and 2. The rest of the differences still very, very close. 1.4, 0.6, 0.1, 0.6 and 0.1. Very, very close. So this is shot 13. Ristic with a 10.2, Plakushi 10.5, Čeka Galina of Italy still in the mix, 10.5, De La Foret 10.2, and we've had our first 10.9 of the final. Chichamnan of Thailand 10.9, there it is. Tyršek with a 10.3, and Ablushi so close with a 10.8, getting the applause and roar from the UAE crowd who've gathered here in the finals hall at Al Ain. This final, I think, is going to be so close. We now move to the next single shot, shot 14. This will decide 7th place.
Shot, load.
30 seconds back on the clock. That's all the athletes have to take their shot. It sounds like a long time. It really isn't when it comes to a World Championship final such as this.
Start.
Great shot from Plakushi, 10.8.
Stop.
And the highest shot, it means that Chichamnan from Thailand, despite the 10.9 shot, is only 0.1. It's agonizingly close, but leaves this final in 7th place, representing Thailand. Anyusan Chichamnan, a real shame for this athlete. Just hit a 10.9 as well, but finished 0.1 behind Dragan Ristic, the world record holder. It can be a cruel sport, shooting, but look, you can just see on your screens, 0.1 was the difference. So close. So Tunge de la Foret now in second place. It switches round, and Vitaly Plakushi of Ukraine leads the way, 0.7 in front. Some of these differences now starting
For the next
to
competition,
get a little
shot
bit wider.
load.
So this is shot 15.
Start.
Just a reminder that just one Paralympic place is available in terms of quotas for this final. There were 2 before we head to the final, but because of other countries already with quota places from either this week or other World Cups, it means the Islamic Republic of Iran, who qualified 16th, actually take one of the quota places. An incredible performance by Zara Gomlazadeh Pastaki. And it means one of these athletes will take the remaining quota place for the Paralympics in Paris 2024. So this is shot 16, and this will decide 6th. At the moment, Dragan Ristic of Serbia
Start.
is 0.5 behind Čeka Galina of Italy. So the world record holder needs a shot 0.5 higher than the Italian, a 10.5. So if Čeka Galina gets a 10 or lower, no, she's hit a 10.5 as well. And a 10.8 from Ablushi, as you're hearing from the UAE crowd. And Tiršek, also of Slovenia, with a 10.8, so just as good. The next elimination then from this final, representing Serbia, leaving in 6th place, the Olympic champion from the Paralympic Games, also the world champion and the world record holder, Dragan Ristic, is out of this final in 6th place. Amazing, really, a shooter of his caliber, Paralympic champion, world record holder. Just shows you the standard that we've got in this final. He leaves us in 6th. So at the top, Plakushi of Ukraine is 0.5 in front of De La Foret. And then it's Tiršek of Slovenia in 3rd. Said Ablushi in 4th. And Livia Čeka Galina of Italy, 0.5 behind.
For the next competition, shot load.
So this is shot 17.
Start.
Thank you to Globus, I think that's how you say it. Ganzes. Good morning from Hilpolstein, a little village in Germany. It's 8 a.m. Good morning to you. What are you having for breakfast?
Stop.
So
Čeka Galina with a 10.4, Plakushi with a 10.2. Also for the Frenchman, De La Foret with a 10.2. 10.2 for Ablushi, and Tiršek just wavering ever so slightly, a 9.8. That won't help his campaign for the medals. He's still in the bronze medal position as it stands. So this is our next elimination shot. This is shot 18. This will decide 5th place.
For the next competition, shot load. Start.
It's Čeka Galina, who's still yet to fire. Oh, 10.4.
Stop.
She's managed to save herself. It's all switched round. That's solid shooting from the Italian. She has saved herself in this final. It means that leaving us in 5th place, representing the home nation of the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, Said Ablushi. And firing point H is now out of this final in 5th. 9.7 shot at this stage of a final. Yeah, you can see from his reaction, tough lines, because he was actually shooting fairly well. So we have 4 athletes left. Tiršek of Slovenia slipped down to 4th, but he's only 0.1 behind, if you see, behind Čeka Galina. And then a 1.7 gap, and then 0.3 between Tunge De La Foret and Vitaly Plakushi. The battle for gold is more than likely going to be between these two. Let's see if the pressure sets in. I mean, De La Forêt and Plakushi both very used to the pressure. Just looking at Tyrshek, another left-hander. De La Forêt also shoots with his left hand. So this is shot 19. De La Forêt with a 10.1, Plakushi 9.8, Tyrshek 10.3, and Cecca-Galina, what another great shot from the Italian, 10.5. That is superb at this stage. She won a quota place for Italy earlier this week in the R4, so she can't take another one.
He needs now to reduce 0.3 to be still in the final to be get.
So Plakushi now tied with De La Forêt at the top. I guess it would be a battle between these two. 198.8.
Start.
So the quota place now will go to either Ukraine or Slovenia, no matter what happens. Plakushi 9.6, De La Forêt 10.4, also 10.4 for Tyrshek, and Cecca-Galina, what another great shot, 10.7. Really putting up a fight. So it does mean that Tyrshek leaves the final in 4th place, just misses out on a medal, was 0.6 behind Cecca-Galina, but her last few shots have just been superb. So representing Slovenia, Francesc Goraz Tyrshek of Slovenia leaves this final. So what it does mean is that Vitaly Plakushi, no matter what happens, has now taken a quota place for Ukraine. That's for the Paralympic Games in just over 18 months' time. It will soon rock round, I'm sure.
For the next competition shot.
So De La Forêt is the one that leads this competition on 209.2, 0.8 in front of Vitaly Plakushi, who's already secured the Paralympic quota place.
Start.
Here is De La Forêt just twitching and hovering, look at that, around the trigger finger. Taking his shot, it's a 10.3. Cecca-Galina meanwhile with a 10.6. The Italian just will not back down, and a 10.1 from Plakushi. This next shot will decide the bronze medal. At the moment, it's Vitaly Plakushi. He's only 0.3 behind Cecca-Galina. Meanwhile, Cecca-Galina is 0.8, 0.7 even behind De La Forêt. So 0.7 is the gap between 1 and 2, and between 2 and 3,
next competition shot
0.3. All eyes on the Italian. Can she hang on for the battle for gold and silver? Will Plakushi take the bronze?
Start.
De La Forêt, 10.4, a 10.1 from Plakushi. What can the Italian shoot? A 10.5.
Stop.
Just closes the gap on the Frenchman. It means that the first medal has been awarded in this particular final. This is the R9 mixed 50-meter rifle prone. It's going to Ukraine, and it's firing point A, and it's Vitaly Plakushi, who not only takes the bronze medal, but also a Paralympic quota place as well. So not a bad day's work for the Ukrainian shooter. And there we have it. You'll see the bronze medal sign, and also just the little Paralympic logo there that indicates the quota place has gone his way. He leaves the final on a total of 228.6. So Italy versus France now, neighbouring countries. And they're next to each other as well in terms of firing positions. Cecca-Galina, the Italian, on firing point C. De La Forêt of France on firing point D. So they're right next to each other, and they are only 0.6 apart.
For the next competition shot, load.
This is shot 23. Galina has been pretty much 10.5 or above over the last 4 or 5 shots. 10.6 from De La Forêt. The French crowd cheer. Galina 10.3. So there was a 0.6 gap. It's now going to be 0.9. It could be another gold medal for the Frenchman. So 240.5 is De La Foré's total. Galina is 0.9 behind. So
for the next competition shot,
is this the time for a 10.9 from the Italian? De La Forêt, if he hit a 10.0, it would go to a shoot-off. This is the excitement of shooting. Here we go. 10.3 from the Frenchman. That's it, the gold is his. And Galina with a 9.9.
Results are final.
And vive la France, yes, the French crowd. And Tanguy De La Forêt punching the air. I think he's just ready to turn around and see his support. But not only is he the world champion for the second time this week in the R9, he's now the world champion in the R9 as well. That's the mixed 50-metre rifle prone. Tanguy De La Forêt of France. It's another gold medal for the Frenchman. He just keeps on winning. And the title of world champion. The French support chanting his name. And let's not forget Livia Galina of Italy. What a performance, particularly in the single shot stage of this final. Absolutely superb shooting from the Italian, and has bagged a silver medal. There she is, delighted. Rightly so, what a performance. And the bronze medalist representing Ukraine going to Vitaly Plakushi. So yes, another exciting final here at the Alain World Championships 2022. This is how it finished. A bronze medal and a Paralympic quota place for Ukraine, Vitaly Plakushi. Silver medalist representing Italy, Livia Galina. And the gold medalist in the R9 event, the 50-metre rifle prone. Not only the gold medalist, but the world champion, Tanguy De La Forêt of France. Thank you very much for joining us along here on Facebook and on YouTube. We are back in literally under just over an hour's time, 5 p.m. local time here in Alain for the P2 final. That's the 10-metre air pistol women. So just confirmation of how it finished from 1st to 8th place. De La Forêt of France with the gold, Livia Galina of Italy with the silver, and Vitaly Plakushi not only with the bronze but also with that Paralympic quota place. We'll be back in just over an hour's time. So from myself, Rory McAllister, and the entire team that brought you this coverage on Facebook and YouTube, cheerio for now, and we'll see you in just over 60 minutes.